Yeah, so what we want to do is establish a foundation moving forward to keep Chuck's legacy going. He has been so impactful on us on personal level and insightful in business, and he'd run this platform E.I.B. Which I'm not exactly the length of time, but I've been associated with Chuck in this platform for about 6 years, and we linked up. He's been very supportive of things I've done, and and I just want to make sure that we can impact other individuals and businesses, not just here locally, but a broader reach in many areas. We all have different talents and services and things that we can do to help businesses succeed. And I'm just, Chuck was an advocate. He never held anything back about his faith beliefs or his political beliefs. Whether you agreed with him or not, that's not the issue. And I think that's something that if we're building a platform, we got to have some principles that we want to build the message in and around, um, irregardless of opposing views. I think that, we've gotten divisive in this country and in business today, and we just got to learn to respect everybody's view in life and business and those type of things, and we can work harmoniously together, supporting each other for a common cause. And today, small business is under attack. I'm going to get a little bit about my why here today, and I know Chuck is had always promoted that, bringing up things he has found. And I just want to share one thing that's happening in California. And people say, well, that's in California. It won't affect me. Well, if it happens in California, it can happen here. They're putting into legislation to get a bill passed that eliminate independent contractors. You're either going to have to be in business for yourself or an employee. So I think it's important as business owners to know what's going not only locally, but in other states and nationally. People say, well, that's California, it's not going to affect me. Well, it's just a matter of knowing what's happening and being able to be aware and be able to offset through activism or standing up and those type of things to protect your interest in business. And so I think that's I'm going to speak some of my ideas as we go through here today. I'm going to bring up share my screen here. Let me share the screen. Before we get going, just please everybody introduce yourselves, what you do, your relationship with Chuck and E.I.B. And I'm going to go through some things here. Thanks, Bill, for jumping on. So we'll start with Dan. Just keep it, 30 seconds or less, please. Dan, just introduce yourself, your relationship with the E.I.B., and why you're here today, and what you hope to us to accomplish today.
Well, I thanks for having me. It's the first time ever being participating in this, and thanks for inviting me, Tom. I did not obviously know your founder, Chuck, but I live in Omaha, Nebraska. I do leadership executive coaching. I think actually Al Tim and I had a conversation maybe a year or more ago. Remember that, but he's the only other one on this screen that I've met. But I don't know if there's anything more I missed there in terms of what you wanted. I want to learn about it. I mean, you've talked with me about it before, Tom, so I want to learn more about what it is. And I apologize, everybody. I'm going to have to leave on the bottom of the hour, but.
Yeah. Dan is associated with a company that and they run a program. What would you call it, Dan? What do we call our buzz group? What's it called?
Well, the business exchange. So it's really the concept is building connections with people you know, like, and trust, and hopefully have done business with before. And if you share that connections, it brings everybody together, and you build on each other's trust and relationships.
Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, and that's a platform that as we go through, as we remolding Chuck's vision here. So Dan, real quick, Dan Stege.
Good morning. Let's see, I've been involved with E.I.B for, I don't know, roughly a year, I guess, maybe a little bit more. I don't recall how I was initially introduced, but worked with Chuck a little bit on some coaching, and appreciate all the news and advice provided here. So, and I'm transitioning from an engineering career to financial services. Found myself able to offer advanced tax mitigation strategies through some partners, and I'm also building a nationwide agency of for life insurance in one of the fastest growing companies in the country.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dan. Stephen, real quick, yourself.
Sure. Yeah, my connection is I was in a group together with Chuck a few years ago, and that group came to an end. And he originally formed this kind of at that point to take over the basic same idea, which was excellence in business, still is excellence in business, and for entrepreneurs essentially. Which I'm an immigration lawyer, I'm a managing partner. That makes me an entrepreneur. In other words, I have to somehow get business and provide service to people. I'm in a firm, but I'm a managing partner. I'm the only person at the Wisconsin office here. Anyway, what I would hope to gain, like many lawyers, I'm not trained in business. Most lawyers aren't. And I do not come to it naturally. Chuck did. And he offered some fabulous advice because he had absolutely remarkable insight and instincts with it. And for me, it's quite the opposite. That's absolutely not my background, but it needs to be. And so that's what I hope to gain is knowledge. If I can help others, I'd love to help others, but I'm not quite at that level at all yet. That's where I'm at.
Okay, great. Thanks, Stephen. Craig, real quick, your relationship, and then and then we'll just go down to Al and then Bill. And I don't know if there's anybody else that's on here. There was somebody we lost Stephanie, so she must have lost connection. So go ahead, Craig, real quick. You're muted.
Yeah, hi everybody. It's very loud here in this coffee shop, so I'll be really quick.
Okay.
I'm in the process of writing a business plan for what will be called the Center for Life Calling, Employment, and Psychological Health. My brother, my friend, my mentor, Chuck took off and exit stage north, and so I'm not trained in business either, and so I ran into God found me a new partner to help me write this business plan. Gary Luke, some of you may be familiar with the C-suite for Price Group yesterday. So very much looking forward to getting together with them. I've been a part of E.I.B for about a year, and it's a pleasure to be a part of the group. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Greg. Mike, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell you a little bit about yourself and our relationship. Did you ever come to an E.I.B in the past, Mike?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Let's see. I guess I knew Chuck maybe 6 months ago is when I first met him. So yeah, I've been on E.I.B since then. And I took coaching through Chuck, which led to a position with a company that does business coaching. You talked about California having small business under attack. We've actually been under attack since 1939. You've probably heard the term generally accepted accounting principles. That actually stands for GAAP, stands for government ability to acquire and take your money. So those accounting principles were put in place by the IRS for the IRS, and they do nothing for managing your business. They don't give you the information you need. If you have QuickBooks, if you have Quicken, if you have Xero, if you have any of those programs, they're set up on GAAP. So we show people how to arrange their business in such a way that they pay little or no in tax, and the data that's generated actually gives them their accounting actually gives them leadership in their business. So that's what we do. Our goal is to get you out from under the government's thumb and have your business much more profitable. So that's what I do. Yeah, and if you take a moment, I put my phone number in my name so you all can get in touch with me. I'm going to encourage everybody to do that. Rename yourself so we can get phone numbers from everybody and get in contact with each other.
Yeah, you're free to put your contact information, phone number, email in the chat, so you guys can have that. I'm going to run over to Al real quick. Al, just introduce yourself, and then we'll get back to Bill next. So.
Sounds good. Good morning, everyone. I see familiar faces here, so it's great to be on. And Chuck and I, we've known each other over several years. I've attended also one of the meetings at the Pettit Center, the Ice Skating National Known. And also I sat down one-on-one with him, and I've got his material here actually still that we went through. And great man. I met him at various meetings, networking events that he went to, whether it be C-Suite for Christ or others. It always was a joy. We always had a laugh and a smile and light discussions, and good man. Gonna miss him.
Yeah. Thanks, Al. Bill, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I'll roll into the mission of today's meeting, and we'll go from there. Thanks. Go ahead, Bill.
Good. Bill Fuchs, Logical Green Solutions, Total Team Construction. We do commercial construction, design, build, open book, energy saving technology, LED lighting. That was pre-pandemic. And then during the pandemic, we've actually focused both of our companies on indoor cultivation facilities throughout the United States for hemp and cannabis. And then we're looking to start up our own grow center, showroom, research center with hemp locally, and then convert that over to whatever legal cannabis is whenever Wisconsin flips the switch because of the success on Illinois and Michigan. For the group today, I'm really just catching up. Was involved for a while of prior to the pandemic, lost touch during the pandemic. So just catching up and seeing what direction things are going, what the goals are of the group, and check things out again.
Great. Thanks, Bill. So that'll lead into, I'll start here a little bit, and then we'll get some little, in the chat, there's a download document that you can do. I would appreciate everybody download that. And I like feedback because I want to meet the needs of the group or establish a strengthened mission statement, purpose, and why. How we can expand and help individuals, the solopreneur, the entrepreneur, the small business. That sort of has been Chuck's wheelhouse, is that, big corporations get all the advice in the world, that you and I get the least amount of advice in the marketplace. So we really want to make a foundation. We can really help the small business person with this forum. But I have a questionnaire here that download it, and please get it back to me. Your opinions and your ideas are valued, and we want to make sure that we can create a platform that's broad but specific and intentional to fill needs of small businesses. So your input's going to be very important moving forward. So this is going to be a process as we move forward. It's nothing's in stone at this point, but I'm going to just go through this. Can everybody see the share screen?
I can see the share screen, but where did you say the download was? I don't see it.
It's in the chat. Click on chat. You'll see it in the chat side. Can anybody else see it?
I cannot see it. If you put that on before we all got on, it may not be visible. If you can do it again.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put that chat in. I'll put it in the chat right now. So I thought I was working smart. So I'm glad we got somebody. I need a 15-year-old in the room here. So I'm going to have to close this down, and then we'll close the doc down real quick. And I'm going to put this in the chat real quick. See, that's what I love about business people. We know how to help each other. Let's see where it is. Where is it? EIB questions. Can you see in the chat now? Great.
Yep.
I'll put my contact information there as well. I should have put it on the doc. But yeah, so I'm just going to go and open that doc again. Excuse me here for the clumsiness.
Oh, now there it is
There it
in the
is.
chat.
What do we need to do? Print it and then email it to you? Because
Yeah, you could, yeah, just fill, just answer it and just email it back to me, in an attachment. Okay, shared screen. All right, there it is. And this is what it is. I'm just going to go through it, and I'm just going to hold off for any comments or anything, but I just want to go through it. My contact information is there, my email. You can return it to that email. I'm looking to, Chuck's goal was to have an advisory board. So, doing what we're doing, everybody's busy. I'm looking for somebody that wants to step up, say, I can contribute. And we're not talking a major commitment, but looking for people that want to carry this mission forward, to help support, move it forward. So I'm asking that question if you would like to be part of the advisory board, and that's a conversation in itself. I'd like to know what I'm going to be sending this out to the entire group that, we have over 180 members in the group, but what would be the best time of, day of the week time, length of time, 60, 90 minutes, that do you think would be an optimum for yourself or anybody else that might be looking at this? Do we want to do this in a live stream format where we can reach more people? I do a lot of live streaming. I do 3 live stream programs so we can get and push our message out to a specific market. Do we want to do this weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly? Would you be interested personally being a presenter? Type of topics or expertise you could provide, because we all have talents, we all have experience that is valuable to the rest of the business world. Would you want, as we're here locally here in Wisconsin, would you want just a local presence, or are you looking for a broader reach? Now, some businesses will come in, they only a brick and mortar and maybe only can deal with a local market. But what would be your thoughts on that southeastern Wisconsin regional or a national reach? Some ideas about formatting this format. I'm involved in a lot of different network groups, and there's all different formats out there. But are you looking strictly by invitation?
Yeah.
An open invitation forum, a networking forum with breakout rooms, a lot of different things. An idea that I have here, but this would take a bigger audience to get this, is a paid sponsor. That could be yourself, that could be somebody else that is willing to support us economically to get a bigger reach. That may be with website presence and marketing, that type of thing. But would sponsorship be an ideal idea? Do you know other groups personally that we can collaborate and cross-pollinate and bring our audience to them, and they can bring their audience to us? So I think these are some strategies I've been thinking about of how we can take this platform further. Are you willing to reach out to 5 to 10 businesses a month? Say, invite somebody. That could be a salesperson. That could be a solopreneur. It could be a local business. Because for us to grow, it takes participation from all parties. So that's a question I'm posing to invite people to this forum. I talked about this here in the beginning, is that, your thoughts on setting our principles, our mission statement around Chuck's original foundation, but make it clear what we stand for. I would like your input on that. And we'll evaluate that. And as we craft our mission statement, we'll work on that. Do we want to have a website presence? And that website allows us to do a lot of different things, but again, that creates a whole different level of participation. It takes some economics on that. Would you want to have a group that's as a paid membership? It could be a small nominal fee to become part of our group, to get access to the experts in our group, be able to market and advertise through the website. So everybody has different needs. These are just thoughts and ideas, and I like your feedback. Creating a Facebook private group where you can participate, bring your guests to get the replays on this information, listen to speakers that we bring in, all those things. We can do the same thing in LinkedIn. But again, I need an advisory board for me to help do this. So these are concepts so that we can put together and really have a strong impact. Really think about who would you want to target. I think like in business, you got to know your ideal customer, right? Who do we really want to target to have the most impact and serve the most people? In concept, everybody needs to know what we do. I mean, that's what if you're in business, you know that your product or service is most of the case. Everybody needs to know about what you're doing. But in reality, you got to be very specific to have the success that you're looking. So I'd like to share some ideas on that so we can formulate any marketing strategies. And also any other recommendations, ideas, thoughts, the creative side with it. I'm not a detail. I'm a right brain person. I'm all concept. Okay. So I need somebody in the advisory board could take the ideas and put them in order. Okay. So if we're going to communicate. So that's my ask today. We really want to grow this organization, keep Chuck's legacy going. And there's lots of different ways to do it. So I'm looking for impact from each and every one of you on that. And I just want to share some ideas with you here on the front end. A lot of people may know what I do or don't know what I do or not specific, but I do some very specific marketing in the area of live streaming. And I do 3 different programs. I interview business leaders and influencers throughout the country, and I have access to those people. I've interviewed the last living person that was coached by Napoleon Hill. Very influential person. I'm interviewing Bob Berg, the author of The Go-Giver, authors about business principles, other leaders. Jeffrey Gittimore, I could get on this program. If you know who Jeffrey Gittimore is, he is what? He's got the world record for #1 best-selling book. The Little Red Book is selling. Ken Walls, the master of live streaming, business building principles, how to use technology. So, but to get these type of players on, normally they would charge, 50 to 100 grand to come and talk to you. Okay, seriously. But I have access to them. If we have an audience big enough, we can bring these type of people in to you got to run, Dan? Okay. Dan, I have one ask. I'm going to send you an email. The ask is this. I'm doing a new marketing campaign for one of my businesses. I'm just going to send you to it. And the instructions will be in the email. If you could respond to that, that would be great. Okay.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks,
everybody.
Good to see you, Dan.
Yeah. So my reach goes pretty deep and pretty far. And I want to bring that type of influences to us as a team, as a group of business leaders. But to pull that off in bring those type of people in, they have what's in it for me. They want to give, but they also know how many people can he touch, because these people's time is very valuable. So those are sort of the long-term strategies I'm thinking about. I know it would be, I'm in those masterminds. I am in those masterminds. I know these people personally. And I can bring some of their wisdom I've learned and put it out there, but it's not as impactful as hearing it from a a Benjamin Gay III, or a Bob Berg, or a Ken Walls. These people are very, very significant business leaders that we all need to know how to be successful in those arenas. So I want to craft a mission statement off everybody's input. This could be an enterprise.
Excuse me, Tom, I've got a question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
And again, pardon the feedback, background feedback that you're getting. My question is, what's the benefit to you? Did business opportunities come about as a result of doing this? I mean, this is going to be a tremendous amount of work on your part, and you and Chuck participated together, and I was wondering what's the benefit for you. But now, you're going solo, at least for right now. So what's your benefit? I mean, you're going to be giving so much to us. What's your benefit?
Well, that's a great question. The first benefit is I love helping. Okay, I love sharing and helping. That's been a mission and cause in all my businesses, is being able to bring value to people and improve themselves personally, financially, and in business. Okay, so that's the first why. Out of that, go-givers, the go-giver principle, the more you give, the more that comes back. More ways than just business opportunity. So there's a why behind what I do. It's not just to promote Tom Ginn and his business and that. That is a byproduct of the mission that I personally have. Okay, so great question, and I think if everybody has that same heart, you'll get more back from the giving principles without expectations. Okay, so I've done speeches and talks and all the things over the years with Chuck, and guess what? Things come back to me in a very significant way. So that's my why. There's a why behind this. What am I going to get out of it? I just really want to help more people, okay, in a very significant way. So, so good question. I appreciate that. And we're opening it up for any questions, comments. Download that, get that back to me. My calendar, I'm going to put my calendar link in the chat. So if you'd like to book a time with me, 10, 15 minutes, Zoom or a phone. Craig, could you mute that background? You got.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
coffee shop. Hi, Stephanie. I don't know when you came back on, but you're going to stay on afterwards, so we can talk then. So that's the mission feedback. I'm going to be through the newsletter to the group that's subscribed in the past. I'll be putting this out when you get the notifications. The only way we can start moving forward, not even knowing the exact format and the types of things we're going to be doing, we're going to bring value. I will put together, any ideas that come from you immediately. We'll start creating some context and content that is valuable for the audience to come. Okay. And I would just encourage everybody out there, when you get the notifications, make a commitment to keep the legacy going by sharing the next meeting with 5 to 10 people a month. I don't think, we all have tons of business people, relationships that we can have, and just say, hey, I'd love to share. That's how I got invited. There was somebody who was attending that I coached. He says, you need to meet Chuck Harris. And I said, who's Chuck Harris? He says, you got to come to the Pettit Center. So I went to the Pettit Center and I heard him talk. I met with Chuck several times, got the sense of his essence and who he was, and we clicked. We're on the same wavelength. So that's how I got involved. So just share. I always believe share good news.
Tom, can I got a question. Obviously I would like, and all of us would like to share the meeting with, other entrepreneurs who are interested in this. It seems to me most people affiliated with Chuck and affiliated with the events that were at the prior organization as well. They've got an entrepreneurial philosophy Now, in my field, I'm an immigration lawyer, as you can probably imagine. Well, they're in private business. Their entire perspective on the world, as far as I can tell, is that the government is the best answer to all of our problems, and we need more government as much as possible, with as much power over people as they possibly can. I don't know of almost any of my colleagues who don't think that way. And I look around, and maybe it's because I'm in Milwaukee and not out in the suburbs, the other parts of the state, but that's the mentality of just about, I mean, not me, not my immediate family, just about everyone I know. I think they're not a good fit. People with that ideology, they're with a different program. They're not with this program, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, can I just compliment? Thank you for sharing that. Here's the thing: if that's what you're seeing, that's an assault on business.
Absolutely.
That's an assault on business. So
there
are things we can do as entrepreneurs, and the fundamentals of our Constitution and our liberties and our rights is around entrepreneurs, ownership of your destiny. That's business. And sometimes we just got to be advocates to wake people up. Otherwise, we'll be overrun. The small business person is under assault.
No question. No question.
We have to be the advocate of why entrepreneurship, the freedoms it gives you, standing up for purposes and causes. And I think that's part of what we need to stand. This is my position and my idea, because small business is under attack.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing, that's the attack, the brainwashing, the conditioning, that the government's going to solve all my problems. They don't solve problems, they create problems. They're taking your liberties away. They're taking your resources away. You're taking your liberties away. And we got to be, as business people, be fundamentally sound on understanding what entrepreneurism and small business means for the viability of ourselves and our families, and the viability of our economic communities, and the viability of the bigger picture, our country.
Yeah.
And so we have a battle.
Yeah.
We have our own battles just trying to keep the doors open on our businesses. But we have a bigger battle that, are you willing to stand up and speak out and share information? The only way, it's only through awareness can you make changes in our world. And one of my mentors, when I was in the financial service, and I'll share this with, I'm a personal development coach. I understand how people think at a subconscious level and belief systems and all this type of things. My first real mentor in business was Art Williams. Today it's Citigroup and Primerica, but it was A.L. Williams, buy term and invest the difference. And I sat on his boat off the coast of Georgia. In my first year or two, I was the number one salesperson out of 10,000 people. I earned that right to meet with him. Okay. And he said, Tom, what's your crusade? He's talking business now. What is your crusade? What are you willing to stand up and fight for in business? And it goes beyond just making money. Your purpose, your cause, and your why. If you ever read Simon Sinek, he uses know your why. That's your crusade, your purpose, and vision. Okay. He says, if you don't have a crusade to fight for, you're going to live a life, and what he means business life and personal life, of mediocrity, frustration, and regrets. And he was absolutely right. He's been my biggest mentor. That has been my core values of every business I put on my books. I have 5 businesses I run, okay? So, and they're all about serving and helping people. Every business you have should have a mission of serving, bringing value, not just, oh, I can make a lot of money selling a widget, okay? So that's sort of the energy I want to bring personally into the group. And everyone here has value, has some energies, has some knowledge, and has some wisdom that can make a difference in one person's life. If I can serve, Chuck influenced me. He's influenced everybody here one way or another. That, and how many other people he's touched that we don't even know about. So I think, what you're saying, Stephen, you're seeing the assault, and you're in Milwaukee. It's a different environment than Des Moines, Iowa, or Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, or Waukesha.
Yeah.
So we as business persons got to know the influences in our community, how they're impacting our businesses.
Yeah, that's true. But Tom, I think it's important, and maybe I'm in the minority, but just let me raise the issue. We'll accomplish a lot more being around like-minded people. But we're going to be going in circles if we have my colleagues here in Milwaukee. I don't think you want them with this group. I don't think it's going to be particularly helpful.
This is my philosophy. You invite them. If it resonates, they'll hang. If we bring a strong enough message and awareness. See, people are brainwashed out there. I'm brainwashed to one degree. You are. Everybody. Our culture, our thinking is a programmed process. The only way that we can get new enlightenment is at an emotional appeal. So success has nothing to do with knowledge or processes. The foundation of success in life is belief systems. So if you believe the government's going to be the savior to you, good luck. I don't believe that. So we're looking for people willing to, maybe they're frustrated. We don't know. They've just been conditioned to think that way. But there's a bigger market and there's a bigger space outside Milwaukee. I mean, if you had a mission to try to change that culture, that's a pretty big one. But it's only one person at a time. I call it the ripple effect. If you can influence one person in a very significant way with your product, your service, your mission, I know, Bill, you're talking about CBD, right? And the cannabinoid industry. And I'm in it myself with my wife in our wellness center. So if you just make one impact on one person, that ripple effect goes to somebody else. That person goes, I didn't ever thought about entrepreneurship. Oh, gosh, I need to share that with somebody. This is a new enlightenment. So we have a mission in life to take our passion and our purpose and go share it and not worry about what people think. Plain simple. Chuck didn't care about what people thought. Right, Mike?
Right. He sure didn't.
He didn't at all. And he wasn't asking for agreement. He was just bringing his perspective, his belief system to the table. And you have to respect that. Unfortunately, in our culture today, people don't respect other people's point of view. There's common ground within each one of us here. No matter whether you're right or left on the political scale, no matter what your faith base is, there's common ground. As business people, we've got to get to common ground thinking, support each other, knowing that there are assaults. How can we help people be better in business, from the mind to processes? People that have answers for, Mike, you got problems in your business, right?
Yeah.
And I know
Absolutely.
you have solutions for other business people in your same space. But you need solutions or different ways to looking at things. The environment of business is not the same as it was 2 years ago. It has changed in a big way. And one of my missions is, if you're not adapting, you're dying. If you're not adapting to what the market trends and how to get your message to the marketplace, the old way isn't working, my friends. Those that aren't moving in with using technologies and videos and other strategies, social media, other avenues of bringing value to the marketplace, those businesses are fading away and dying. Those are going to be winning in the next 10 years. Got to get on the cutting edge. I'm on some of the cutting edge philosophies, okay? And I'm grateful that I got into groups that are bigger thinkers than me, much bigger thinkers than me, okay? And I have success in business, so I can get anybody to where I'm at, but I can't get myself to the next level, to a Jeffrey Gittimore or a Benjamin Gay III or a Bob Berg. Those people are mega millionaires. One of them was a billionaire I just mentioned. Okay. Those are the type of people I associate with. That's who I want to bring into into our forum to change our thinking, change our purpose, change our why, not just in business, but our life. See, your business should be part of your life. It should be your cause, purpose, and passion. If it's not, you're doing the wrong thing. You will never hit your fullest potential through satisfaction or economics, plain and simple. And I've seen it in my life, and I've seen it in all the people that I associate with. They love what they do. They have a heart of compassion and help. They're standing up for causes. And I think that's, hopefully that's how I want to carry collectively. I don't want this a Tom Ginn show. I don't want it a Tom Ginn show. I want it a collective show and bring wisdom, talents to solve people's problems personally and in business. So you don't win in business just by business principles. You really can't. There's a lot of smart people out there that are failing in business. And there's a lot of people who say, how do they succeed? Because intellectually you go, I'm smarter than that guy. How is he doing it? It has nothing to do with knowledge. Bottom line, it helps. But that's what I've seen over the years, personally, as well as the people I associate with, and what I see happening in businesses. Most small businesses are stuck mentally. They're stuck mentally. Mike, would you agree? You see it all the time.
Well, not only are they stuck mentally, but we talk about systems and systems run businesses. The system that we swim in is designed to make us fail. And so they're stuck, and they're stuck in a system that keeps them stuck. So it's a double whammy for most people.
Yeah. So that's I'm speaking from my heart, my purpose, my passion. I want to keep Chuck. He had the same thing. Chuck had the same thing. He just communicated it differently, right? So we all have something to win with here, and if more people know what we stand for, you're going to earn customers that want to do business with Stephen or Bill or Al or Mike. And now, Mike, you're in the manufacturing business, but by getting your message out, they know about Mike and what you do. They may know somebody that needs your widget. I don't know exactly what you make, Mike. I don't want to downplay what you do. We do not know, but when people will do business and refer business, when they know what you stand for, why you stand for it, and they're willing to promote you, even though there's no economic gain in it for themselves. I've done it for years. I've probably given hundreds of millions of dollars away in referrals in my business career with no expectations in return. Because I knew somebody had the integrity, there's somebody you can trust, and they would do the right job for you. And with no expectation, and guess what? It's paid back in many different ways. Okay, the fulfillment. So I hope I'm communicating, a vision here, a purpose, and a why. I just appreciate everybody being here today. I appreciate so much to fill that out, get it back, so we start molding this. I'm looking for people that would say, Tom, I can help you out, get a few message out. I'm looking for somebody who maybe has a little bit of tech savvy to say, hey, let's get that private group Facebook up so we can drive people to our Facebook and put our content up, put these videos out to private groups, get people to join our Facebook, get that message out in a broader market. Even if you're local in a brick and mortar business, Stephen, you have a belief system that people need to hear about. Your wisdom, your knowledge. There's value out there. How can we touch more people collectively? So that's sort of what I wanted to share today. This first 2022 meeting without Chuck. He is missed, but he's not going to be forgotten. So I'm just looking for a few people that could, just support the detail side. Not a lot of hours, not a lot of time. Say, I can jump in and I can help you do some posts, or give me some contents for the newsletter. Each one of you here has that's part of something I want to do, and we invite people to that. We have some content, short, like a blog, some sort of value content that would cause somebody to say, you know what, maybe I should come to this meeting and learn more. And then you'd have an opportunity to promote yourself and your business. I mean, what's in it for me? I've been in a lot of network groups. After a while, just network groups die because you get to know everybody and you go, well, nothing's coming from this. But if we can bring value in speakers, content in our newsletter that we put out, and we give a resource that people can plug into to get information, and that, build that community. This is a community effort. Chuck built a community. It was a small community. We can keep it small if that's the direction everyone, but my vision goes beyond small. I don't think small in anything I do, okay? I do not think small. And people think I'm crazy. I'm always excited, positive, and purposeful. So that's the nature of who I am, and in business. So any other questions, any comments?
Yeah, I filled out my survey. You already have it.
Thank you.
Couple of things, just taking a step back from looking at the leaves of the trees to look at the whole forest. And I think the point is going to be well made. My main concern, as with any other association or group, is just, do we get enough gas in the tank, enough volunteers to accomplish whatever we set up for goals and timeline? Because unfortunately, you were right. If we don't have enough people, what happens is there'll be a core group and then we end up burning out. Been there, done that, don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple of things on the questionnaire that, if that's the direction that the group takes, will change the dynamic of who's involved in the group and what our messaging and what our goals and purposes. And I'll just be upfront with it. If this goes in a political direction, because I am so frustrated with both parties in our government,
Oh, I agree with you.
I will be out. I don't care what group it is. I'm out.
Well,
The other thing
that's
is,
what we want to know. That's
okay, well, no, I'm just being very, very upfront and blunt.
sure, perfect.
The good news is, when you work with me, you'll hear stuff straight. Sometimes it's getting hit in the head with a 2x4, but I don't mind getting hit in the head with a 2x4 instead of somebody dancing around the bush. So the other thing is, I know faith was mentioned, and if it becomes faith exclusive to any one religion, I probably would be out also, just because over the years, my opinions on religion and open-mindedness of what could be and what is not have changed quite a bit. So that's just my 2 cents. If it turns into an entrepreneur group and we're helping small business, even up to 20 million, whatever it might be, I'm interested. I'm not sure what participation, how much I can communicate. If it's a networking group, you're right. I'm not interested. I got out of strictly networking groups about 20 years ago, because I got tired of feeling like a minnow in a shark pond, because there's 55 different salespeople trying to sell you what the commodity is, and they don't care. They just want to sell you their commodity. So I'm not interested in a network group.
Great
So
idea.
that's my 2 cents. The other thing is, I think there might be better platforms than a Facebook channel.
Yeah, I have access to a lot of them myself. I just brought those up.
Even you mentioned blogs and videos. Even a YouTube channel may be viable.
Yeah, I do my live streaming, and I can push my messaging out, my marketing, to 30 different social media platforms at one time.
Well, and if you're doing live streaming, we may want to look at Twitch.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things like that. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. As I said, I was on exploratory, and if it makes sense, great. If it doesn't make sense, not a problem. It's just one of those things.
The reason I put those in there, because Chuck wore those 2 elements on his sleeve. He didn't preach it, but you knew where he stood.
And I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't mind that. I'm just saying, if that becomes the theme.
No, I got you.
Because right now I can tell we have at least my gut feeling is we have a fairly diverse group, even still on the phone right now. And I wouldn't want to exclude anybody for political or
Oh, absolutely.
or faith reasons. But well, I mean, it just depends. If the group wants to go that way, I have no problem with that either. I mean, it's just depends upon what you're involved with. And the two things that would make, that cause a failure is lack of time, lack of money. And by lack of time, it's lack of people and involvement.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it'll be a process. It'll morph into the collectivism of the thoughts of everybody. I think that's going to be an important thing. And we'll rock and roll with it, as long as we're clear on our purpose and our vision, we'll accomplish the objective. We've got to have clarity in that mission statement and our purpose and why, so that it will resonate through a broad spectrum.
If I may, we shouldn't be getting back and forth, and I don't want to get into a debate about it. Regarding politics, certainly I don't mean Republican and Democratic. Build back better. That's the process of putting private businesses out of business. If anyone is in favor of that, we can invite them to the group. That's no problem. Many of them are fabulous businessmen and very successful. That's so not what we're about. I would be really concerned about anything taking that direction.
When I say political, it's just understanding policies that are out there, and knowing what those policies can do impact us. And I don't think that we just got to understand what policies are coming and how do we collectively protect our interests in business. And I don't think it has anything, those policies, and it may come from one side of the aisle or the other, but if it's beneficial, I'm all in. If it's going to be hurting the business community, I'm definitely want to push back. And that's part of our responsibility as citizens. The number one office in this country is not the president. The number one office in this country is you and I, citizen. And we've lost that stand up. The government serves us. We don't serve them. Our citizenship is constitutional. I'm a constitutionalist in a big way. Okay. So, and I think that should be a value. What are we standing up for? And that is not, I don't think the Constitution is political. I mean, it's not Democrat or Republican. It's what our founders built this country on. It's not religious, in my opinion. There's law, what I call law in life, that the foundation is built on. But I'm just speaking out my own thoughts. So that doesn't mean that's that. So we are wrapping down here. And I tell you what, 60 minutes goes in a hurry. Al, you got a comment?
Yeah, I just, the comments Bill was making, I appreciate and respect that because, and like Steve was also saying, it's going to be challenging. I mean, I'm in a situation right now. We're trying to reorganize a group of people and just to get the bodies involved, the volunteers, the commitment. I think that's the biggest challenge we see because we're all going our own different direction. We are the engine of our economy, the small entrepreneur, the business owners. And to have that influence to other people, we also need to know what's in their sandbox, playing in their sandbox, getting the knowledge and understanding of where they're coming from. They may be political, but that's not the goal of being an entrepreneur. We should go forth, gather information, become knowledgeable, and when we get speakers, so we have understanding, and so we can stand on solid ground going forth in our own beliefs and the wisdom we can bring to the group. But to get the people involved, it's a time commitment. I'm looking at it myself. People want to, oh yeah, I like this, I like that. But when it comes to the commitment is not there. Membership is easy, but the commitment is the challenge no matter what sandbox we're in.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Al. Anybody else before we wrap up? Mike, Stephen, Craig, do you have any comments or any insight you'd like to share? Any concerns, anything like that?
Yeah, this is, am I unmute? Yeah, I guess I'm unmuted. Yeah, this is Mike. I talk like a Republican and I'm actually a left of center Democrat. So I've never been able to negotiate either party representing me to any great degree to what I firmly believe. So I guess I can wrap it up by saying the difference between Democrats and Republicans to me is like the difference between clap and syphilis. So, hey, take your pick. You know, I want to stay out of politics and political expressions. When I criticize GAP, it's because that's the system that robs us from our power. It doesn't matter what political side that's on. We have to understand the system we're in. You know, Chuck said all the time, systems run businesses and people run systems. And that's where we have to come. That's where I come from. So that if you're in business, let's get a system in order that allows you to run your business in a manner that's profitable and sane, and you know, you can run your business from lying on a beach in Waikiki. That's great. That's what we need to do. So that's my standpoint, and that's where I'm always going to come from.
Good.
So there's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Mike, any comment, and we'll wrap up here, and then Dan, if any comments you'd like, and and I'll close out with one ask here. Mike, you're muted.
I really don't have anything, Tom. I apologize for coming late. It's just been crazy.
Sure, no problem. Dan, any comments or any concerns, any insight or any feelings, whatever you would like to share?
Nothing in particular. I just think it kind of fills a niche, a gap in my other among my other groups. So I think it's a good approach.
Wonderful, thank you. And here's
Tom, can I chime in real quick?
Go ahead, Craig. Go ahead. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah. What drew a lot of us to Chuck was not only was he smart as a whip when he came to business, but it was faith. I mean, he never preached. And we're not talking about religion here, but and I think that was a draw for a lot of us. And so I believe, or I think, part of this new faith needs to be embraced. It doesn't need to be shunned, and I guess that's where I'm coming from. That's in part what has drawn me to this group, to you, Tom, and certainly to Chuck. So as part of this legacy, and as we go forward, you know, that's important.
Okay, great, thank you. Stephanie, I know you were in and out here. I know you're going to stay on with me. Do you have any comments or any concerns, anything you'd like to share with us right now?
No, but not really right now. One of the things that I'm involved in right now, and I know, you know, we're getting political is some are, you know, rah that, and some, you know, don't want to touch that. But I'm heavily involved in the Convention of States right now. I'm a district captain for that in my area, from like Whitefish Bay to Port Washington, Cedarburg, Mequon, and I strongly encourage everyone to at least jump onto that website and learn about it, and get involved if you feel moved to. But I think it's really important. One of the biggest issues is term limits and reining in spending, government spending, but the term limits is kind of the #1 issue right now. So I think it's really important time for everybody to get involved politically. I think it is our responsibility. And we, you know, nobody has the right to complain if they're not getting involved and making that a priority in their lives to really understand what's going on out there. So, and these are crazy times. So that would be my little ad here at the end is please look into Convention of States. And if you have any questions, or if you want to learn more about it from me, please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you about it.
Yeah, Stephanie, if you can put your contact information in the chat. And
I did early on, but I'll do that again.
Okay, that's fine. I am not looking at the entire chat stream. And I thank everybody for being here this morning. Everybody's time is valuable, as I know mine is as well. I get great value being connected with people in the entrepreneurial space. So I have an ask, and I won't get into the ask. I'm going to shoot you an email. I'm initiating a marketing campaign, and the only way that I know if the marketing campaign has worked is I'm going to send you a link and have you evaluate the marketing message and just say, where can we improve it, whatever. Because I think getting feedback from a broad range of individuals and or businesses will give me a better idea of how I can market my message more effectively. And this format is designed to, we want to be able to do that for each other, for Bill or Stephanie or Mike or whatever. If we have, how can we support? And I value your opinion. And so I'll shoot each one of you. It's a voluntary thing, of course. I'll shoot you an email with instructions of what the ask is. And it's not a major commitment. So that'll be self-explanatory. But I'm initiating a marketing campaign, and I just want some feedback. How did that resonate with you? Would it resonate with somebody else? That type of thing. So I appreciate it. Mr. Hayek.
Good morning, sir. Sorry about that.
You're late, sir.
I know that.
We're cutting down, buddy. Introduce yourself real quick. You're from Florida, and
Yes, I
we're
am.
business associates. So just introduce yourself real quick. So.
Yep, my name is Bob Hack. I'm out of Port St. Lucie, Florida. I own a company called Financial Independence, LLC. Also a representative for an amazing company called ASEA.
Okay. Yeah. So Bob and I have linked up in our consulting business. What he does in non-traditional debt consolidation is very important. Bob, if you want to put your email in there, if anybody has concerns about debt,
Sure.
we do. Okay. So thanks for jumping on, everybody. I'll give Bob a second to get that in. And then Stephanie, I know you wanted to stick around for a minute or two after for us to talk. So we're good. Any other comments or concerns or questions?
Yeah, can I make a just a follow up of what Steph is saying, and you constitutional. I can appreciate, respect everybody's opinion. I'll just say real briefly, I am a legal immigrant. We are a land, a country we need to stand up for.
Amen.
Thank you.
That's all I'll say.
Thank you. Good.
I guess my calendar didn't convert the fact that you're 2 hours behind me.
Actually, 1 hour, Bob. I'm central.
Yeah, 1 hour.
One
Yeah,
hour.
I just saw it's at 11 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I'm late.
All right. Hey, Bob, I appreciate it. Everybody, thanks much for being here this morning. God bless everybody. And just go out and serve.
That's
and
it.
I appreciate
God bless, Tom. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, get the survey back to me so we can formulate this collectively to create a community to serve small businesses, and collectively we'll have the right answer. So I appreciate everybody's comments this morning, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye.
Good.
Thank you
Tom.
for the invite.
You got
Have
it.
a blessed day, everybody. Awesome.
You too. Good morning, Cap. Good morning.
Hi, Steph.
Hey, how's it going? Do you want to stay on here or do you want to get on the phone?
No, this is fine. When everybody jumps off, we'll just continue
Okay.
the conversation.
Yeah, that sounds good. It sounds like it was a good meeting. I apologize. I had kind of I don't want to call it an emergency meeting, but I'm a part of the leadership team for Recruiter Network of East Wisconsin, and there's only about 5 of us left. And they scheduled a meeting because we can't afford to cancel another a big meeting where we're trying to get everything figured out, and we're supposed to have a big meeting next week, and we don't have a speaker, and there's just other issues going on. So they scheduled this meeting, and I was like, damn it, it's right in the middle of my meeting with Tom.
No
Um,
problem. No problem.
they needed me to participate, so I was trying to do both at the same time.
Well,
Um,
I appreciate that you're involved in what did you call? Excuse me, my mind just
it's
is.
it's a convention of states, so it's the Article 5, like amending the Constitution. So adding amendments to the Constitution, and the big focuses is our, controlling, getting this all this government spending under control, and term limits, which is so important, and some other issues. But Convention of States has a lot of big support behind it. You've got like Governor Ron DeSantis, Mike Huckabee, the Project Veritas guy. What's his name? Right, I can't think of it right off the top of my head. There's a long list of people who are big proponents of this. And I'm still learning a lot too. I got involved back in November, but my training is getting pretty intensive, and have to go through a lot of like legal training and that kind of thing as a district captain, because you're basically getting into lobbying, and you've got to be really careful with the language that you use for legal reasons. Just like I'll be working at the Waukesha Gun Show on Saturday, where
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's so controversial, you know.
I know. So we're gonna have a big booth there, and I'm helping out one of the other district captains to wrangle people in. But it's really about every district captain has the responsibility of signing on at least 100 people to the Convention of States, or signing the petition, and then encouraging all of those people to reach out to their legislators. So um, about the Convention of States, and passing this in our state. So we only need is it 37 states to approve it, and then our Constitution can be amended. But it's super interesting. I got involved with it because I was already involved with Patriot Academy. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
I'm familiar to the name rings a bell, but the specifics, no. But
Patriot Academy is also fantastic. I got involved with them in the summertime, early in the summer, because they do biblical citizenship classes, and they do like new sessions continually. They'll take like a 2-week break in between sessions. I'm in my 3rd session of biblical citizenship, because there's always something to learn. So I did the full session the first time, and then in the second session, the 3rd session, I'm attending those Monday nights, whenever I have the availability to, just because there's always something there. You're going to always pick up something new. But they also do constitutional coaching. So I'm going to be a constitution coach with one of the other district captains who is over more. Her focus is like the Menominee Falls, Germantown area. She and I are going to start teaching these classes next month.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, and
quite
we're
a
gonna.
commitment.
Yeah, it is. And so I'm a Constitution coach through Patriot Academy, and Patriot Academy and Convention of States are now linked up. And Mark Meckler, he was the CEO of Parlor. Now he's the head of Convention of States, and then he also teaches through Patriot Academy. So he's a pretty neat guy too.
Cool.
Mark Levin is a big, supporter of this. There's such a long list. Ben Shapiro. I don't always love Ben Shapiro, but um,
He
he's a
pulls
big
no
supporter.
punches from his perspective, that's for sure.
Yeah, but obviously I'm a huge patriot and a staunch conservative. So I don't like to call myself a Republican, because I feel like there's so many rhinos. They've ruined the Republican Party. I like to call myself a Trumplican.
Yeah, you and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
I'd like to know more about what you're doing, and take a look at my ability to participate in that area. I've made a commitment to how I can get involved in bringing people to awareness of what's happening around us, you know.
Right.
And so I'm also involved here in Oconomowoc with Lou Kolowski. He's running for mayor. He's got a platform called the Five Riders, and every month we do a course on the Constitution. It's called Constitution 101. And our goal and mission is to wake people up with the Constitution. We want to reach out to more young people because today young people have even older people have. I'm probably one of the last generations where the Constitution was taught in high school and studied it, right back in the 60s, late 60s. And after that, everything slid downhill in a hurry. So our mission is to get people to understand the foundation of the Constitution, entrepreneurship, all that. So we meet the last Wednesday of every month here in Oconomowoc, and I'll extend that invitation if it works great, at the Cornerstone Pub and Grill on Main Street in Oconomowoc, next to the post office.
I may come out. Will that be next? Is that next
This
Wednesday?
coming Wednesday, next Wednesday,
Okay.
last Wednesday
Yeah,
of the month.
I may pop out there and join you guys. And I might be able to.
Yeah, and
I'll tell some other people. Maybe some other people would come out too. So
exactly. And one of the people that has been coming regularly is former Supreme Court Justice Dan Kelly.
okay.
Yeah, he's in, and he brings that extra knowledge to the Constitution. Because we're taking what is it? What's the name of the organization? You'd know it if I said it. We're running off a platform. What's the university? Conservative University.
Liberty.
Yeah, we're using that
University.
platform. Yeah, we're using that course, and then we sit around like the founders did, and
drink beer
and talk about what we need to fight for, right? So
good. I like it. Yeah.
So so we sort of have that. It's an hour. We have 30 minutes, and then 30 minutes of dialogue, and then everybody can head out, head home. Everybody's time is valuable.
That sounds like our meeting was on Tuesday night. It was at DJ's Goalpost in Menominee Falls, and everybody was sitting around drinking beer, and we were talking about the Constitution, and then we played Constitution bingo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for jumping on. I know you said you had a conflict going on here.
Yeah.
But, also, I wanted to follow up specifically in our last conversation last year sometime after Chuck had passed.
Right.
The area of spectrum disorders. Was it yourself or your son or?
My son, who's on the spectrum, yeah. And we had talked about the oil.
Actually, I'm associated with a company that a new technology called redox molecules, and how that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I would like, I don't know where you are with that, but it's not a supplement or anything else. It's a science by itself. It's not a part of pharmaceutical or anything else, even though it started out in that arena and they recognized it had been squashed by the pharmaceutical industry.
Right.
It's native to your body. Your body makes redox molecule signals. 3 Nobel Prizes around the discovery of what redox molecules are, and a company was able to stabilize those outside the body. No toxicity, native to your body. And it does amazing things. Everything happens at a cellular level. And if our cells aren't functioning at the highest level, we deteriorate. So I want to introduce that to you on a personal basis as well.
You had sent me information, and I had reviewed it, and I have literally, it's been removed from my brain.
Okay.
I think
I'll shoot you.
we're just so nuts and so busy. So you just said that to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I knew that. I don't know why I had it confused, but
yeah, it's very significant for a therapeutic approach to improving health in any spectrum of one's life. All our health is all run by cellular health, and as we age, our body makes less of them, so that's why we get sick. Okay.
Yeah.
Just over time. And this research and what it does in the spectrum space is phenomenal.
Okay.
It, it,
I
it,
need to
it-
re-review the information that you sent me.
yeah. And
Um,
the other side of it is I can invite you to, I'll send you the link. Uh, just dive through the information again. But on Saturday mornings, we run a forum, and on Tuesday evenings, we run a forum as Ask the Doctor. Um,
okay.
People have concerns about their health, or what about this, or what about that? Why does it work? We can provide as much information. We can overload any individual with the science. I mean, there's 1,500 books and 300,000 peer reviews and blind studies, and I mean, the science is real and the results are real. Yeah, but we can overwhelm somebody with the information, but we want to keep it real generic and understandable. And I will shoot you a link. Dr. Ward does little classes on autism and he's not promoting the product, but he's talking about the science of the cell of redox molecules. And when we have a deficiency in that area, whether it be in the spectrum area, that's why we have the problem. If you increase that, the spectrum issue is diminished, in some cases totally eliminated.
Okay.
Okay, so we can't make medical claims, the FDA, blah, 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 but people can read between the lines and the science is out there. So, so that's the reason I wanted to, because I'm on a mission to help people with their health. I mean, it's that significant. We live in a sick society in more ways than one. But physically, our health issue, we're not a healthy society. And we need to get back to it and understanding what the real pillars of health are. And
Yeah, thank you to the sick care industry. It's like they call it the healthcare industry, and
you got it
that's
right.
not, it's the
You got
sick
it.
care industry. They have no interest in health at all,
If I break my leg, I know where I want to go, right? I need,
for sure. But
yeah,
that'd be the only thing, right? Or
exactly. They don't know
maybe
how
a
to
heart
fix it.
attack,
Yeah,
or a broken bone.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I want to share that with you on a personal basis. Take a deep look at it, and on the second side of it, I don't know what your career or business aspirations are, but there's a very significant opportunity with the company as well. Sharing
Okay.
it. Okay, so I just want to plant that seed. My mission is to get as many advocates, just like we're doing politically. How can we get more advocates spreading the good news or the news? Right. That's only through.
Right.
So sort of the same mission, but I've shifted almost all my business activities to this cause. Seriously,
So that meeting in Oconomowoc on Wednesday is at what time?
6 p.m. Show up
Okay.
about 10 to 15 minutes early. I'll introduce you to Lou and some of the other people there. We have the crowd is getting bigger, so we didn't have anything during the Christmas holiday in the space, but yeah. So in Judge Kelly showed up to everyone, and he's been a great contributor and teacher as well, besides Lou. So it's a great forum, and you need to promote what you're doing because Lou's all in. We're all in on the same page. So the more we know
Okay.
how we can support what's going on, we got to take some action. Otherwise, things are going to fall down around our ears, right?
Right. I'm starting my show. I'm in the middle of recording my first episode right now, but I have a show called Hold the Line with Steph 17 that's going to Rumble, and I don't know how long I'll last on YouTube because they typically kick. I'll have to watch my language enough to where I won't get kicked off of YouTube, but Rumble's going to be my number one focus.